So I spent the night with the new 2026 Samsung OLED TV range, specifically the S90H and the S95H. Now I've seen these TVs before in stores and at the launch event, but not spent any time with them as a user. So it was really cool to sit down in a home-like environment and test them out. There's some pretty impressive improvements in this year's generation, and one choice that might be a bit controversial. So let's start with the elephant in the room, and that is the S95H OLED. Now I'm experiencing the 65-inch in this overnight experience, which I think is a great size for the space that I was in, which was a small apartment, 2-bedroom, I would say probably a 1.5-bedroom apartment. But we all know that most Australian homes do have space for larger size TVs. So this size is priced at 5,299 Australian dollars, and it obviously goes up from there as you increase the size of the panel. Now this model is different because it is the first OLED to have the Samsung Art Store. When you think about this is a huge achievement. It's pretty important because traditionally OLEDs get really hot and then they have screen burn-in when they're left on for far too long. So with this, it'll now let you access the art store and it'll show a piece of art on the screen for I think up to 4 hours before it'll go into a standby mode. I think that is really impressive, and it's cool to think about how far Samsung's technology of OLED has come over the years. The fact that they can even do this, who would have thought we would have got here with OLED? It's pretty cool. So the S95H is shipped with this new metal float layer design, which is definitely different. But if this TV is installed correctly on the wall and recessed in when it comes to power, as well as getting the correct mount for this panel, it does mean that this can sit completely flush against the wall and essentially will turn your OLED into an art piece. If you think of the frame TVs and how they do have the different borders that you can purchase and customize, it's sort of like that. It is giving you a frame bezel around the sides of the TV. Very much controversial in the sense that if you want the most expensive model that has a couple of extra features that I'll talk about in a second, it does mean you have to get this option. You can't remove that back panel, that border, which I think is a little bit of a shame. The more I thought about it, the more I thought to myself, yeah, I think I probably would just go with an S90H then. I don't think I want to have that metal float layer. So let me know what you think. Do you like this metal float layer design, or would you prefer to not have it? Yeah, I think I prefer to not have it. But anyway, this model does have the glare-free panel as well as 4 HDMI 2.1 ports that also support 165Hz VRR, variable refresh rate. So no matter what you play, whether it's a PC, a console, whatever you're connecting to the TV, it's all going to support that at top quality. Then if you want to go a step further, especially when it comes to clean design in your home, you can purchase a separate wireless One Connect box, which can give you a completely cable-free setup and remove all the clutter from your TV consoles or TV unit. It means I think up to 10 meters away you can have this box, but you can plug all your consoles and DVD players, do we still have them? Blu-ray players, get with the times. You can plug all that into the wireless One Connect box and have it, you know, tucked away in a cupboard or something like that, which really helps clean that TV unit, especially if you have just the TV floating, maybe not even a console underneath it. You've got this complete wireless clean experience. Pretty cool option. So the new NQ4 AI Gen 3 processor, it has 128 AI neural networks to allow for better upscaling and picture performance, basically across all the content you watch and also consume. And it also allows for this new feature.
There's a mode on here called AI Football Mode Pro. What that does is if you go into your settings and turn it on, if you look at the football field, it enhances the color, brings up the saturation, makes it a little bit more clear, as well as the players' jerseys too. Not only that, you can actually mute the commentators. Check this out. Mute commentators.
Most of these play.
Okay, I'll mute the commentators on the TV.
It basically splits that audio track and takes the commentators' voices and reduces them, bringing up the ambient noise in the background so you can hear more of the crowd, more of the players. This is using AI alongside the new processor of this model, and this is really cool if you're going to host World Cup parties. You don't really want to be hearing too much of the commentators in the background while you're watching with your friends and having conversations. This is a really cool way to keep the noise on whilst also removing that distraction.
This new processor is also enhancing motion when it comes to fast-paced content like sports, especially like moving balls in sports. It's going to identify that and smooth out the movement so it's not too much of an eyesore and is much easier and clearer to see. That smoother refresh rate for those particular moments I think is a pretty cool way to use this processor. I watch a lot of AFL. when the ball is being kicked, it's just like this white blur on a pretty poor TV. So to actually have a smoother transition of that, I think that's really cool. But of course it has Vision Companion 2, which allows you to ask your TV a question like, who's this actor that's on my TV right now? But you can actually go a step further and ask it what kind of coffee shops are around where I am right now. This now goes beyond your TV being just a TV. I don't know if you're happy about that or if you are not happy about that, but because it does have Copilot and Perplexity built in, this can now be your hub, your companion. Especially if you are using Samsung smart things, you can actually have the TV as a hub and access all your other Samsung accessories or devices around your house. It's wild how far we have come. I think I still want my TV to just be a TV though, to be honest. Now the S95H does have a 70-watt 4.2.2 channel speaker system, which is different to the other model, which is the S90H. That only has a 40-watt 2.1 system, but you will find these TV models to be quite similar. They've got the same glare-free panel, they've got the same NQ4 AI Gen 3 processor. They're essentially the same TV and system, but this one, the S90H, does not have the metal float layer design, and the S95H does have that. So you basically have an option for with or without, minus some small differences. But if you are getting a TV like this, chances are you're probably going to get a pretty intense soundbar or sound system, so the internal TV speakers don't really matter. So the price of the S90H 65-inch is $3,999, 3,999 Australian dollars, and obviously again going up as you go larger in size. It's actually not that bad. But what I loved about my time with the S90H was gaming on it. Playing the new Forza Horizon 6 was so much fun. I haven't been able to jump into the game yet, so that was actually my first time. And it's so colorful, it's so inviting, but most importantly, it is so smooth. This was running on the Xbox Series X, not cloud gaming, all directly through the console, so it was getting top quality refresh rates and also graphics, no latency, no lag, just gorgeous gameplay. And the AI gaming optimizer on here is also really neat, as it can auto-select rather, the best settings based on the console or device that it detects being plugged in. So yes, you've got the traditional game bar where you can make the changes and adjust the settings yourself, but you do have the option to just turn this mode on and it's going to do that automatically for you. Gets you quicker into the game, you can trust that it's going to select the right settings. I think that's pretty effective when it comes to gaming. At night though, these panels look incredible. I didn't have a lot of daylight with these because I did arrive late and the sun set pretty quickly, so I was basically experiencing it only at nighttime, but I was really impressed. The way Samsung build their OLEDs now, they're so much more energy efficient and they're safer because they don't get screen burn in like it used to, as well as that reduced light reflection with the glare-free display. It's still providing you with deep blacks and amazing contrast, and the color always stands out too. I would say that their OLEDs are definitely my favorite models that they make. Even with the introduction of RGB, it will be really interesting to see how people make their decisions on what TVs they're buying. I'm still super impressed with the way OLED technology is, and yeah, it definitely is a favorite. But if these two models are too expensive for you, you can also get the entry-level OLED, which is the S85H. That is slightly lower when it comes to specs, not much difference in price either. It is $3,299 at a starting price for a 65-inch, but you know, there is $700 difference. So if those two more premium models are out of your price range, this could be worth looking into. All right, so I would love to know what you would think about these new OLEDs. Is it something that you would buy, or again, would you rather look into that micro RGB technology? That is still looking pretty promising too, especially when it comes to color. But I'm not disappointed by these new OLEDs. I think they have their place and they really are some gorgeous pieces of technology. I just don't know about the metal float layer design. Thank you so much for watching. Be sure to subscribe and I'll catch you in the next video.